Hey guys, it's Chris and welcome back to K97.5, and this time we have some local talent for you. Some hip-hop by G. Yamazawa, North Cat.
I'm the best, the effect, and the cause, I'm the law. It's the North Cat, baby, I'm a boss. Carolina barbecue sauce with the slaw. I'm the safe, the cellar, and the vault. I'm the best, the effect, and the cause, I'm the law. I'm the truth, man, looking real false. Whenever I hit the booth, I come out to an applause. If I'm talking to my crew.
Hey guys, it's Chris, and I'm back with James from Dust on the Throne, and we're here for our first off-season midweek Q&A from the live streams on Sundays we do. So we said for you guys to leave some questions in the comments in the live stream once it posts as a video. So that's what we're doing. We're answering some questions we may have missed and that you guys posted in the comments. So back to Game of Thrones Q&A.
Hell yeah.
Classic style.
Feels good to be
in
back.
In the old setup. Also, really quick, thank you, Doc Holliday. We have our shirts. It was indeed your package at the post office they held. Area warging in progress. If you're new to this channel, you may not quite get that yet, but I'm sure you will if you hang around live streams enough.
These rock, Doc.
They do. Area warging. Yes, it was a real thing here a while back.
Danger.
That's right. So we wanted to sport these in our first Q&A. So thank you, Doc. Appreciate
it, buddy. All right, so the first question comes from Anthony Whelan.
Thank you, Anthony.
It says, Q&A, I was just watching Game of Thrones episode just after Ned's death. In the throne room, Varys and Littlefinger are talking, but if you look behind them, the color-stained windows are in view, and both center circles colors are the same of the Night King's eyes, ice blue.
Okay.
Do you think this was a foreshadowing for the Night King ending up in King's Landing at a future date?
That's interesting. I've never really thought about the colors in the stained glass, but that was the Faith Star, correct?
That's what I was thinking,
believe.
yeah.
So I really hadn't paid attention to the colors, but that could be.
Yeah, I didn't go back and look at it. I was thinking just like you.
Yeah, I need to go back and look at that and see if that's like, I guess he's saying blues in the center, and then but it's usually orange and red around it, something like that. So I don't know. Interesting.
Right.
They put the blue in the center there, but then again, if you think about it, on the back of the Silent Sisters, they wear their little banners up on their shoulders.
Right.
They have that star as well. So if it's the same color everywhere else, I'd have to go check that stuff.
That needs to be checked out.
Yeah, it needs to be checked. So that's a good observation at least. I'll definitely go back and look again and pay attention this time.
Very cool.
To the colors. Very cool.
Next we got Brandon Guimon. It says, I'm calling it now. Jaime kills Cersei. Mountain kills Jaime. Hound and Brienne combine to kill the Mountain.
You're right.
That's not a question. I just picked that to see what you thought about that.
Yeah, no, I think that's I could see it. And we've talked about the Mountain thing before with Clegane Bowl 2.0 that it would be a target of opportunity, and he wouldn't go after it because otherwise he'd already done it.
Yes.
But yeah, I can see that. I do agree, obviously, with the Jaime Cersei thing. I've been saying that forever. I think most people believe that. I think that it fits well.
And that does leave Brienne alive to do what you said you think she's destined to do.
Yeah, die. Jaime's going to die in the arms of the woman he loves, that type of thing. It's a book thing. Yep. So I think that fits. I think you could be dead on.
And then she will then fill out his book.
Yep.
And the Hound there.
And hopefully the Hound survives that fight.
That's what
against his brother, but he could go out too.
And that's what I'm thinking. The way they like to do things is he could survive the initial fight and be injured so bad he dies.
Right,
maybe like the next episode.
It was almost like could it be almost like the first when Oberyn fought the Mountain? They both lost.
Both lost.
I mean, he just didn't die before Oberyn, but he was already dying. So eventually he died, and I guess Qyburn brought him back or whatever with his necromancy skills. The blue milk or green milk from Star Wars or whatever the hell it was that he used to pump in and bring it back. But notice it was blue. That is little. That would be a color indication for the Night King and necromancy, the blue stuff that he put in his veins.
Okay, we got one here from Craig Cook.
Thank you, Craig.
Craig says, I'm pretty sure Varys couldn't understand the voice that spoke in the flames. And also, the incident is the reason he hates magic. So it seems strange to me that he would devote his life to hating magic while simultaneously devoting his life to the idea of a Targaryen restoration that he got from a talking blue flame moments after being mutilated. It doesn't add up.
That is true. First off, Craig, Every time I'm in the kitchen, you in the kitchen, eating all the food. I'm sorry. You know that's going to happen.
Don't make me leak on your keyboard.
Sorry. No, I'm sorry, Craig. Yes, I agree. I've always said that it's awful weird that he hates this magic, but he wants these magical people back in power. So I totally agree. I mean,
it is crazy.
Of course, I guess, in the books, he's sort of supporting a Blackfire, Aegon. He don't have dragons or whatever, but and that goes back to, is he a Blackfire, and is there a reason behind it? Is there a more selfish reason other than for the realm? And I'm certainly open to that, but yeah, I mean, I agree. It's weird in the show, at least. Once you find out that this Dragon Queen has dragons and it's a magical thing, I guess he just separates it in his mind. Like these fire priests versus an actual creature that's an animal or whatever.
Right.
That, supposedly is magical.
I see what you're saying.
You know what I mean? I guess that's the only way you can look at it.
I like that. Let us know what you think, Craig.
You ain't got no damn milk. Ain't that a bitch? You funny.
Gorlak says, Howland has a mission like Benjen. He's been told to do specific things at a specific time and nothing more. He didn't send his kids to help a Stark. He sent them to stop the Night King. I don't think he uses the trees, but is their main emissary. I think the trees can only have one user at a time, so it was Brynden Rivers handed directly to Bran. What do you think about that?
Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know if there can be one green seer at a time. Supposedly, according to the World of Ice and Fire and the history we know, that may or may not be correct. That children had, when they were essentially the only race, them and the giants and all that stuff, they had their green seers, as in plural.
Yes,
so
that's
multiple
true.
at a time, perhaps. So we really don't know, but it seems like as the war raged with man, as they came over, their numbers dwindled and all that stuff. Afterwards, there was only one green seer at a time. So I do think there, at least for a long time, there's been one green seer at a time, and they recruit the next. And so Bloodraven was in line, then he recruited Bran, and Bran will have to do something for somebody else, maybe if magic doesn't end. So I agree with that, but I don't know about them only being able to access, or one green seer at a time can access werewood.net. It seems to be too big and powerful for that. I don't know.
It's huge.
Because you have Bran, you have Bloodraven, you have a green Jojen who has green dreams at the same time, although he's not plugged into werewood.net or a warg or anything. So you have all these multiple people in their story that have magical abilities at the same time. And of course, when the children die, they go into the trees as like an afterlife type thing. Bran experiences when he wargs ravens for the first time, for example. He feels the presence of other children in those ravens that's been there before. So
very cool.
It is interesting. I don't know. We just don't have enough information, but I do think that for at least the last, I don't know if it would be 1,000 years or a couple hundred years, there's probably only been one green seer at a time that's kind of recruit, because they're so rare.
What do you think about what Gorlak says about, it says Howland has a mission like Benjen. He's been told to do specific things at a specific time.
I wouldn't disagree with that. I think it goes along what we've been saying about, Howland
puppet master type stuff.
Yeah, like he's not been at Winterfell and all that stuff, which led us to the God's Eye theory and all that stuff. But like he has trained, whatever that means, twice or more at the God's Eye with the Order of the Green Men. So what does that mean? Is he being told what to do? Does he have access to information like Bran does? That's been the question. That's the big mystery. That's when we got to see him again, and we will in the books. But the show, they could potentially skip him, but he's definitely got access to some information that we don't have, and it's related to the end game as to why he's not been in Winterfell when he should have.
He's not getting that info from the Citadel like Sam.
He's not sitting up at Greywater Watch the entire time just because he don't want to travel.
Exactly.
I mean, he was a traveler. He went to the God's Eye during the Tourney of Harrenhal before that, all that stuff. So he's not just sitting around at home.
I think that's cool. This is from My Jolly Sailor Bold. It says, "Hi Chris, do you think Qyburn will transform Cersei into a White Walker in Season 8? So the Night King and she to make an alliance against their common enemies, Jon and Dany, or to marry him and be his Night Queen and her baby a sacrifice to him, assuming that Qyburn can create dead people too. like the mountain,
Right.
via necromancy/science, and is working now on what remained from that White Walker hand. How much possible can be this in season 8? Any idea there?
I mean, I think anything's possible, but I don't know even, like, I think Cersei would do damn near anything to not lose power, or at least not to let them have the power.
That's actually exactly why I grabbed this, because as I'm looking through them, I was thinking Cersei will do almost anything. She might agree to something like this, but can he?
Right, but I mean, so she says that, right? Or she thinks that, like, if I can't have the power, nobody will. I'm gonna blow up the whole damn place, which is, I think she'll probably try that actually. But you know, if you, can you make a deal with the Night King? Does he speak?
Right.
Are you willing to lose who you are for it?
Yeah, are you almost like chaining somebody up like they did King Kong, you know?
Right. How does that work?
Hoping
it, you just don't get slaughtered.
Exactly.
But yeah, I mean, we just don't know. There's just not enough information about the others. The show is way more advanced than the books as far as how far we've gotten, having an actual leader called the Night King that they call the Night King. We just don't know. I mean, she's never going to, if she's a White Walker somehow, like they can turn an adult, because we've seen them turn the babies, it's not Cersei anymore. So would she be willing to just, do you know what I'm saying, to just be something else and then lose herself and all that stuff, or just die?
And I don't think she'd voluntarily sacrifice her baby.
No, I do not. I agree with that. I do think she will lose it, but if she does have it or plans to or whatever before that happens, she would not. That's the only thing that keeps her sane.
That's the only thing.
That's the only thing.
I agree.
So yeah, I mean, yes and no. You know what I mean? Depends on the situation and you know how desperate she is.
If she lost the baby, that could be the final.
It could be a turning point.
Drive her crazy enough to do something.
But the question
like
remains: can an adult be turned to a White Walker? You know,
good point. We've been wondering that.
Yeah, I mean, I do think there's a good chance she dies and becomes a white. I said that in that little kind of twist on the Valonqar theory video about the pale white throat after she had already drowned from her tears. You know, so that was the idea behind that. Is she's going to be white Cersei.
Well, good thinking, thought-provoking question, my jolly sailor bold. This is Deborah Rose. Thank you, Deborah. It says a couple things that need to be answered. The punchline to the donkey honeycomb into a brothel.
Yes, absolutely. That's the most important thing.
Bron's backstory.
I agree. The honeycomb and jackass is the most important thing, Deborah. Absolutely. Here's the thing, though, about Bronn. I don't think we're going to get a backstory about Bronn. I believe George R. R. Martin when he said that he created Bronn just because he needed somebody for Tyrion to talk to when he left the Eyrie.
Yeah.
So that's why he was created. Now, he did grow beyond what he thought he would be, so that doesn't mean he couldn't add something as far as a backstory, maybe more important, but I just don't think it is. I mean, people speculate a reign of Castamere. I don't buy that because he had his chance to kill Tywin anytime he wanted. Tyrion, Jaime, all those guys he's close to. I did put out a video where I said, did Varys hire him at one time to go beyond the wall for some kind of information? Because he said he went beyond the wall for work.
Yes.
But I think if that's the case, he's still a sellsword. He's just a badass sellsword. I think that's honestly what he is. He is what he is.
Yeah.
Everybody's not special as far as
we don't need a huge backstory.
Yeah, a bloodline or some secret Targaryen type thing. I just think Bronn is who he is, and he just became a bigger character than he was supposed to be.
And I honestly think the scene where he turned away from the gold, pretty much said he was a sellsword.
Exactly.
He thought about getting that money.
Exactly. In his castle.
Yeah.
He wants his castle.
And, he changed his mind, but I think that did say yes.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah.
Proved.
And that was his arc, right? Because he goes in and Tyrion says, "Can you help me in this trial by combat against the mountain?" He's like, "Hell no. I'm a lord now." Because I got knighted at Blackwater Bay. Exactly. Now I'm more expensive, and I'm not going to die for that.
No fucking.
So I'm not risking it. So
he's too smart to do that.
So it was still his sellsword mentality, which has now been kind of as he's been slowly changing and actually giving a damn about Jaime and Tyrion versus the gold they paid.
He does. He really truly does. He's built that. He had it with Tyrion, and then he got it with Jaime.
Yeah, exactly. So, and he was the mediator, in last season when they met up. So, I think that's his role, and I don't think we'll get any definitive, absolute answer about who he used to be. What his last name may be.
We all agree though that George was right for expanding his character.
Oh, yeah.
He's
became
become
one of the
a
favorites.
fan favorite.
Fan favorite by far, yeah, absolutely. All right, guys, so thanks for submitting the questions. We'll continue to do these, I think, every Wednesday or so, midweek, whatever.
I think it's a good idea.
Have a lot of fun on the live streams on Sundays, but we want to pick up some of these questions as well, and it spurs thinking about new theories, new ideas, and things like that. But we'll do it again next week, so we'll see you Sunday on the live stream. I really appreciate the support from all you guys on Patreon. But a huge shout out to my executive smokescreen producers, Griffin, Lala Gig, Kissa Powell, Marylin Bentley, Anonymous, Doc Holliday, Goska, HoonJive, Horton, Erin Habig, Anastasia, John Carey, Jason Landers, DTizSmith, MJW, Carole Brown, D Brown, Michael Colton, Lisa Phillips, and Alfred Borstmayer. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate the support. Be sure to subscribe to Give Everything. Thanks for watching.
And the cause, I'm the law. It's the North Cat, baby, I'm a boss. Carolina barbecue sauce with the slow. I'm the safe, the cellar in the vault. I'm the best, the effect, and the cause, I'm the law.
Still the greatest rapper breathing, who you think it was? J Gun is better than whoever you be bringing up. All this motherfucking singing now.